Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is Molly and this is Good Wellbeing ASMR. So today I thought I would do another soft spoken video. I did my first ever one, not last video but the upload before, and I got some nice feedback, some lovely comments, and I felt it didn't go as bad as I thought it was going to go, so I've decided to do another one. And I do love watching soft-spoken videos myself, so it is nice to have a mixture within the channel. So yeah, I thought I would do another soft-spoken today. So what I'm going to be doing in this video, slightly different to some of my others, but I've been wanting to do this for a while, just because I love talking about places I've visited. So I've got a few photographs and a couple postcards here of some places that I have been lucky enough to go and visit, and I thought it would be fun to have a look at where they are on the map, and then maybe have a look at their flags. I'm really bad at world flags, so I think this might be a good thing in terms of helping to educate me. These aren't all the places I've been to. I still need to print off some holiday photos actually from my most recent trip, but I'll still mention them and have a look at the flags and where they are in the world map, but unfortunately I don't actually have pictures of them all. But yeah, it's just going to be a bit of a ramble today, and as I said, soft spoken, and we'll have a look at some of my pictures. Okay, as per usual, just another thank you to everybody. I'm very appreciative of anyone who has subscribed, liked or commented. Thank you so much, and I really hope that you're all enjoying these videos. As I said on my last one, I am loving doing them. They're really fun, and as I've said obviously in all my ASMR content, I'm a big fan of ASMR, and I think it can be really useful for our well-being, and it certainly helps me de-stress. So yeah, moving on to the start of the video. I'm going to start off with Bruges, which is in Belgium. So I'm just going to raise this just so everyone can see it. There we go. It's not the best postcard. I think if there's anybody from Belgium watching this, you're probably thinking this one postcard doesn't highlight the beauty of the country, but it was just one of the ones I had, and I couldn't find any pictures really other than ones of me and my family, which I didn't want to show. I do love the architecture, which I think this postcard does show, so that's nice. But yeah, so I just thought I'd talk through obviously my trip to each place, and then as we can see on the map, so Belgium, Bruges in Belgium is part of Europe, and you see we've got Europe here. See, Belgium is in this part close to Germany, and then if we go and have the look at the flag, we've got the Belgian flag here. I hope everyone can see that. So it is actually similar to the German flag as well, isn't it? But a little bit about my trip to Bruges. Yeah, I went with my family when I was a teenager, and I'm going to be honest, the best parts of it was the chocolate. My parents let me try some of the Belgian beer, which was absolutely lovely. So yeah, the chocolate and the beer are the two high spots of my trip. Again, I was a teenager, so maybe not as mature as now, although I do still like chocolate and beer, obviously. But yeah, I do remember the architecture being really stunning, and I did enjoy that part. And it was probably the last family holiday actually that my parents, me and my brother did. So yeah, it was really nice. My mum's scared of flying, so we actually got the train from London, which was good because it meant obviously my mum was less stressed. But yeah, my main memories of this trip is eating the chocolate and trying some of the beer. And we stayed in a lovely hotel because my parents managed to get a deal on it, so it was like really discounted. I think the hotel was called like Helsinki, but I'll have to check that. So yeah, it was a really good trip. So moving on, I think I'm next going to actually another postcard instead of a photo, but this one here, I'll just raise it up so everyone can see, is Mallorca. So this is obviously just off Spain. You can see on the map here. I do apologise, my map is very small. I should have actually got a better one to do this video with. So I'll just talk a little about my trip to Mallorca. So this is one of the first holidays abroad that me and my husband did together. So it's when we were like going out with each other. We'd got a really cheap package deal. We're talking like really low end, which is fine. We wanted to go for the nice beach and the weather, so you know, you can make, I always feel like you can make anything fun if you know, you just go with it. So it wasn't a particularly luxurious trip, but it was absolutely beautiful beach, which obviously is why we went. We were on this strip with lots of restaurants and bars, and that was good that we had that sort of so close to us, but I'm going to be honest, it wasn't like the nicest place. I mean, I won't give too much sort of details, but I think my husband's drink got spiked actually, so I had to carry him home. But it was, sorry, I won't go too into this because it's an ASMR video, but we both got offered free drinks to enter a place, and I did not drink it because I smelt it and thought, oh, I'm not drinking that, and my husband drank them both, and to this day I've never seen him change so dramatically. I've seen him drunk before and it was very different, so I genuinely think they had something in them, maybe just to like steal our wallets or phones and stuff. I'm not saying it was like, you know, anything more scary. We don't know, but he really changed, and I had to take him back to the hotel, and I was like carry him uphill. Other than that situation, it was actually a really lovely holiday, and we did enjoy the food. The seafood was absolutely lovely, so we had a lot of paella, a lot of seafood and fish, and we went to explore like the capital, and we also did like walk along the beach for a while. So although that one, you know, example of a potential spiking incident that I always know, I mean, I live in the UK and I work in London, that can happen in London, that can happen anywhere, so obviously I'm not saying it's Mallorca's fault at all. Obviously we saw some boats, saw the marinas. Yeah, it was a really, really nice place to go. I'd go back. I just probably would go to maybe a slightly nicer area. I don't want to say what area it was in case I offend anybody who loves that area or lives there, but as in all places, there's nicer spots, isn't there, than others. Okay, so moving on, we've done Bruges and Mallorca. I think, I was like early 20s when I went to Mallorca, so I was older than when I went to Bruges. So actually I was going to do these sort of in order, but maybe I won't. Let's do Antigua next. So we went to Antigua a couple years ago, and on the map, so we're looking at the Caribbean. I've got Antigua and Barbuda just here. So it took us around like 9 hours to fly there. I did have a panic attack on the plane because I'm claustrophobic, and the the toilets on the plane are tiny, aren't they? So I did kind of freak out a little bit, but the air hostesses were very, very nice. And yeah, my husband stood outside the door of the bathroom and I calmed down. But I didn't want to not go just because of my fears of flying and stuff, so I still went, and I'm pleased I did, because I'll just hold this up. Antigua is absolutely stunning. It's a beautiful place. The only thing I'm going to say might cause controversy here. I recently went to Barbados at the start of this year, and I'm going to be honest, I did prefer Barbados beaches to Antigua, but again, that's preference. I know there's some people who prefer Antigua. I've got some friends who go to St. Lucia a lot, and so yeah, there's all different preference, but I did prefer Barbados. However, I think it depends what beach you go to, doesn't it? So yeah, that's fair enough, but Antigua was a lovely trip. We went for a week and we did a boat tour, which was really fun. We went to like this sort of little sort of cove part, which had really soft sand and beautiful, beautiful water. The hotel we went to was good. I was fine and content because we got a really good deal. We always try and get really good deals with holidays. So we're the types of people where it's like we'll look at a particular like holiday and just look at it for 3 months and wait until prices drop, and you can kind of get a gauge of how far they drop to if you look at it for a couple of months. So we did get like a really good bargain for it, and because of that I was like, we were just content with what we got. But I think some people had paid a lot more than us, and I can see why maybe they found the hotel not up to standard. I think we were fine, we were happy. It was the first time we'd ever had like a private beach as part of the hotel. That was like our first experience of that, and for the money we paid, that was amazing in our opinion. So we loved it, but there were definitely a few people, and when we looked at reviews of the hotel, there were a few like complaints about it. So again, everyone's got a different interpretation, haven't they? But no, I love the Caribbean. Like I said, I've only been twice. I've been to now Antigua and Barbados, but love to go to either St. Lucia or Grenada. I've got a friend who's from Grenada, and I always say if she ever moves back there, I'll have to visit her. There'll be an excuse to see another island, but yeah, no, I'm a big fan of the Caribbean. It's lovely, and the people are nice, and the weather's lovely, and the beaches in Barbados and Antigua, to be fair, were just like absolutely stunning. So yeah, brilliant. Okay, let's just have a look at the flags for Antigua and Barbados. So I found Barbados quite quickly, probably because I've been seeing it recently. So that's Barbados, got blue and yellow, and then we have Antigua and Barbuda. There's this one. I wouldn't actually have recognised that one. I need to get better at flags. But yeah, I recognise Jamaica. I think I've seen Jamaica a lot. But yeah, Barbados, Antigua and Barbuda, the two places in the Caribbean that I've been to. And obviously they're at this part in the map. So moving on, we'll go somewhere now a little bit different, I think. Let's go to somewhere in the UK, because me and my husband do like travelling around our own country. Actually, my husband's not originally from the UK. He's from Southeast Asia, so very different, but he loves the UK countryside and coastlines, so we tend to do a lot of hiking trips across different parts of England, Ireland and Scotland. Haven't done Wales yet, I need to do that though. Okay, so these pictures, I'll just show them to everybody. You can see my photography skills with this one wasn't great. I probably have a better picture, but I apologise, I haven't found them. So this is the picture from the top of Helvellyn, which is a mountain in Lake District. And Helvellyn was an incredible experience. I don't know if anyone else has climbed Helvellyn and wants to sort of mention, I don't know, your experience in the comments, but it was truly incredible. It was like my first proper mountain to climb, and it was difficult. Like, we went on the ridge, which I did find hard because I struggle with sciatic pain, so I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't an easy experience for me with the climbing, but it was really incredible when you do get to the top and you have the views. We climbed on a beautiful day, which, if anyone has been to the Lake District, will know that it rains a lot, hence that's why there's so much beauty. But we had bright sunshine, blue sky. It was like the most incredible day ever. So yeah, it was one of the best experiences, and I did love seeing the pools of water that are within the mountains. So I loved Helvellyn. So Scafell Pike was the other mountain we climbed, and here it is here. And this one has a very different terrain. So this was very rocky, like loads of rocks, whereas the Helvellyn, which I preferred, was much more greenery. There were some rocky parts, but a lot of it was like grass. So especially considering my sciatic pain, I struggled with the rocks a lot. Like, it's really difficult for me. I mean, now when I hike, I have a stick, which helps, but I didn't have my stick at this point. So, like, I'm not being over dramatic. I was in a lot of pain, but I did manage to get to the top, maybe a few tears later. And it was a good experience. It was, really, like, I wouldn't say it was like picturesque. I'd say, I mean, it felt a bit like out of worldly. I don't know if anyone else sort of feels like that when they do rocky mountains. But it was a difficult thing to do, but I'm glad I did it. I can say I've climbed Scafell Pike, and it is quite a high mountain. So yeah, it was great scenery when we get to the top. But coming down took a while. Mind you, climbing up obviously took a while. I remember when I climbed down and there was a couple climbing up, and one of them said to me, "Oh, is it much further?" And this was like in the first quarter, and I just like bluntly said, "Yes, it is loads more." I think they turned back. I don't think they were going to reach the top. They might have done though. But yeah, so that was Scafell Pike and Helvellyn, and that was part of the Lake District. So obviously the Lake District is in England. It's part of the UK. It's one of the most beautiful places of the UK. So if anyone ever visits England, I would really advocate or really recommend going to the Lake District. It is very popular though, so in summer it's very busy. But yeah, so obviously it would literally be within the United Kingdom. My map is so tiny on here, there's no point pointing it out because my whole finger covers the whole map. I do feel a bit bad that I should have maybe had a better map for this video, but I really wanted to film it, so yeah. Okay, so yeah, and obviously, sorry, we don't have a flag for Lake District, but we do have a flag for United Kingdom, which is this one. Okay, so moving on, we've now covered Mallorca, Antigua and the Lake District in the UK. So I'm going to move on now to Norway, which actually this photo is my picture in terms of my channel. And the reason I have used this picture is when I was looking out at the fjords, so this is in Åland in Norway, I did just get such a sense of calm. It's like a breathtaking view, and the air is so clean. And I don't want to get political on an ASMR channel, but they have like a really high percentage of cars being used are electric, and obviously in these parts not many people drive compared to the city. So when you're out in this area, I'm not being over dramatic, the air felt cleaner. It felt really weird like breathing it, because I mean, I live outside of London. I don't live in London, but I do go to London a lot, and like just breathing in London versus breathing in Ireland. Up on, I think I took this picture, I might have been up Mount Prest, which is a mountain in Norway. Yeah, so when I compare to being on top of Mount Prest looking at this view to taking a breath in the middle of London, it's very different. But to be fair, London's a city, isn't it? So but yeah, no, the view here was just incredible. I just was stunned by the beauty. I'm going to be completely honest, I've visited a few nice picturesque spots. I'll talk about some of the others. So I've done the Lake District, but I've got like Ireland and the Peak District and Cornwall as well to go. But like, I was mesmerised by Norway. I can't sort of put into words the beauty. And it literally shocked me, actually. I felt like I was on another planet, and I don't know if anyone's seen Interstellar, but there's one scene in Interstellar which is like they go to another world and the world's very rocky, and there was one part that we drove up to and it literally was, I was in Interstellar. It was incredible. So this is a picture of Jotunheim National Park. And I haven't put a filter on this photo. It literally has two different colours of water. And it's like really, really picturesque. Like, it's the most beautiful place I've ever been. And the only thing is that it is really difficult to climb some parts of it. And what with my sciatic issue, I did find it very difficult. We ended up actually having to do like a different route because I couldn't climb up. Which I felt a bit guilty to my husband, but at the end of the day it was like a safety first thing. So we ended up doing this ridiculously long hike, because going like the normal route was like, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour extra on top of like a 4-hour hike, but then like the other way was 3 hours. We literally did 7 hours hiking on terrain that wasn't the easiest, so I really was absolutely exhausted, and yeah, I was in a bit of pain, but the beauty was worth it, absolutely worth it. So yeah, this is Jotunheim National Park, and these are the fjords in Åland, both in Norway, and yeah, the most like beautiful country that I've ever been to. And on the map you can see it's above the United Kingdom, so it's here, if anyone can see that. I do apologise, my small map. So yeah, it's quite cold. I mean, we were really lucky with the weather. I don't know, I mean, my husband jokes I'm a bit of a good luck charm when it comes to weather, because like Lake District was brilliant weather in Norway, which is known to rain like insanely. We had like bright sunshine for literally most of the 10 days we were there, which if anyone from Norway is watching will know that's quite a lucky thing to get. But we went in September time, but yeah, we were really lucky with the weather. So let's just have a look at Norway's flag. So it's this one here. See that? So obviously we're in Europe, and it's red with a blue cross at some part of it. So yeah, Norway next to Iceland, above Belgium. Okay, so we are now on to Ireland. Here we go. So this is the Dingle Peninsula. In the county of Kerry, so it's in Ireland, and this was an amazing trip as well. I actually went to see this because I used to do health checks as part of a job role, and when I was doing someone's, like, I don't know, their blood pressure or something, she was Irish, and I said, oh, I always wanted to go to Ireland, would you recommend a part? And she was like, the Dingle Peninsula is beautiful. And there was a nurse I used to work with who I was still sort of in touch with, but I mentioned it to her and she was like, oh yes, it's gorgeous, you should go. And so I started Googling it and looking at videos, and it did look insane, it looked amazing. So I said to my husband, who loves hiking and the outdoors, I said, do you know what, I think we should go and have a look at this. And yeah, we obviously did our holiday to Ireland. We flew, which was only an hour, to Kerry. Then we rented a car We had like a nice Airbnb. We got to the Dingle Peninsula and it was just absolutely incredible. It was breathtaking. The weather in Ireland, it did rain a lot, so it was like there was parts that it didn't rain where we were able to go and, you know, have a look, but we kind of dressed for it, so I had a lot of clothes that kept me dry enough, so it wasn't that bad. But yeah, so this was just gorgeous coastline. We actually did go in swimming. When I say swimming, like you run in and you run out again, like feeling completely freezing. But we did both actually go in for a dip. We had our wetsuits, so it helped a little bit. But the coastline's just incredible. We also did like Killarney National Park. We also climbed Mount Brandon as well, which is another mountain, and that was one of the best mountains I've ever climbed. It was really, really enjoyable with fantastic views at the end. So yeah, if anyone's thinking of taking a trip to Ireland, I would say the Dingle Peninsula is a beautiful spot. Okay, now moving on to, got two more. I'll just do this one quickly. This is the Peak District, so it's just obviously some very picturesque, lots of greenery. Obviously it's in the UK. It's really beautiful. Yeah, we did do a lot of hiking and that, but yeah, it's a very picturesque place. So that was the Peak District. Went there quite a few years ago now. I think about 7 years ago. No, maybe 6 years ago. And then finally, the last photo I have is of Cornwall, and this is Kynance Cove. And if anyone ever goes to Cornwall, something I loved doing was the walk between Lizard Point and Kynance Cove. It's like a really, really picturesque coastal walk. And yeah, it's just, I mean, I hope everyone can see that. It's one of the most beautiful parts of Cornwall. And again, Cornwall in the summer can get warm enough like to enjoy, obviously, going swimming and going on the beach and stuff. So yeah, it was gorgeous, and we had lots of seafood. Yeah, went for lots of coastal walks. I enjoyed the ice cream. My husband doesn't really like ice cream much, so it was mainly me enjoying the ice cream. But yeah, it was a beautiful, beautiful walk. Yeah, no, it was wonderful. We stayed in St Ives, but I mean, I've also been to other parts as well. My husband actually went to Newquay for his stag do. So yeah, big fan of Cornwall. Yeah, this was like the most beautiful part. I mean, I've been to Land's End as well, and yeah, there's like a harbour in St Ives, and yeah, I've been to Redruth, been to all the kind of parts of Cornwall that a lot of people visit. But yeah, no, I do recommend Cornwall as a lovely place to go. I've been very lucky with all the places that we visited. There's nowhere I've actually been and been like, oh, I don't like this. And I think it's all different experiences, isn't it? I would like to travel more though. I have been to Florida and New York, which are the very stereotypical tourist destinations. I feel like it'd be better if it would be nice if I go to some other parts of the United States. I don't have pictures though, because I went so many years ago. I probably do have some photos of Florida somewhere actually, but I went to New York when I was like age 10 or 11, so I'd have to find photos with my parents, I suppose, but I do remember it. I did enjoy Florida more because obviously like there's theme parks. I mean, the food was amazing. I've got a real sweet tooth, so I really enjoyed like the desserts when I went. Yeah, so when I went to Florida, I didn't have a fear of flying at this point, so I was fine on the flight, on the travel there. But yeah, we were really lucky because it rained for like an hour or so, and then it was beautiful sunshine, so that was good. And we went to like the parks, but now I think they're really even better because we went like, must have been like 10 years ago. So yeah, but it was a brilliant holiday, and like I said, New York was fun too, but my mum was scared of flying, so that kind of made it a little bit more stressful. But my dad used to live in New York or Long Island just for like, I don't know, it was like a year or so, or just under, just to do with work. but that was like before I was born, before I even met my mum, so it was like many years ago. But he has friends who live there who he keeps in touch with, so I would like to go back. And I mean, me and my friend were planning on going to Florida again this year, but then we decided not to because I basically didn't have enough money to go to both Barbados and the States, so I picked Barbados. But yeah, I think my husband would like to go to some of like the national parks and see some of like the lovely landscapes and stuff, so I think we will go back at some point. It's the aim. Yeah, I've never been to Canada, never been to South America. I'm trying to think where else I've been. I mean, I've been to the south of France, that's Europe obviously. But yeah, I don't consider myself particularly like really well travelled to some other people I know who've been to like many other areas, because most of the places I've been is Europe, because obviously it's closer to me. I haven't like done, you know, Africa or South America or Australia or New Zealand, which are like some of the places I've got some friends who have travelled to, or even Asia. So I've literally only done Europe and America, so and the Caribbean, I suppose, yeah. But I would like to venture further out, but again, it's costly and it's fitting it in with like other commitments and stuff like that. Oh, Japan, that's somewhere I would love to go. I love sushi. Like, I literally had sushi for dinner last night, so to try some proper Japanese sushi would be incredible. But yeah, I've been to Poland, been to Germany, been to France, been to Belgium, been to Norway. So yeah, I've done a fair bit of Europe. I mean, I do want to go to Amsterdam. That's somewhere I would like to go. Yeah. Anyways, I think I will leave it at that. Sorry if this has been a little bit boring, me just rambling about my holidays, but it was something that I like to chat about, and I've seen some other ASMR videos where people just ramble about things and I find it relaxing, so I thought I would do one myself. But yeah, all I can say is thank you very much for watching. I hope it's been relaxing, and I'll see you all on another video. Thank you everybody. Bye.